Hi everyone, welcome back to Loca-Love, Volume 2, Episode 2. So, Ichitaro is off to a bad start. So, he really wants to go out with this beautiful classmate, Aritagawa-san, or Neo. But at the same time, she's quite mysterious, and she makes it unwelcoming for anyone to come close to her. So, in the prologue in Episode 1, when he saw that she was riding in the same train, he goes to her, but she tells him to go back to his original seat. And out of desperation, he got a charm from the shrine that's run by Yachiyo. And even though the charm is known to cause misfortunes, he's willing to risk it. And it seems that the charm did its effect because when he went home later that night, he saw Aritagawa-san, or Neo, slumped over on a bench at the platform, and she was sick, and he carried her home to her family. So I wonder how she feels about Ichitaro now. So it's been 2 days, and hopefully it's probably the first step that the gods created to bring him closer to Neo, or basically make it possible for him to win her. So, morning 2 days later. Okay, so we're back on the train car, and he sees the girl again, and I'm sure she remembers about what happened with the incident. So when I get on the train, I spot Aritagawa-san among the passengers already on board. And she didn't come to school yesterday, but she looks a lot better than the last time I saw her. Well, naturally, I start to walk over to ask her how she is feeling. Well, it is good to check up and be concerned about the fact that she got sick. And it's getting the attention of the other passengers. Hello again. Well, I'm stopped in my tracks by a voice from beside me. Wait. So it's the old lady I helped the other day when she was jolted by the train. You don't need to thank me. Wait, so is there anything you need help with today? Well, my goal is I want to talk to Aritagawa-san, but I can't just leave this old lady after she specifically called me over. Like, would you like me to put your bag up on the rack for you? Sure. Okay then, I'll put it up there for you. No problem. And in the end, I'm stuck talking to the old lady all the way until we reach our destination. So, Sawago is the final stop and the closest one to the school. And it seems like at some point when I wasn't looking, Aritagawa-san moved to the next car. So it gave her a chance to escape. And it's like she's trying to avoid me, or at least trying to stop me from talking to her. Well, I guess she's still Aritagawa-san at the end of the day, no matter what. Well, she's a proud, aloof beauty, no matter how you look at it. And it's probably hard for her to accept the fact that she ended up relying on my help. And I guess it might be awkward for her that I know what her home looks like. So it's not the beautiful big mansion, rich mansion. It's actually a small fixer-upper. Well, it's not like I expected anything from helping her, really. And sure, I wanted a chance to get closer to her, but I stopped thinking about that as soon as I saw her in that state. As long as she's feeling better now, well, that's all it matters right now. Okay. And I probably should not just come out and mention it to her. Well, if I'm being honest, if she's going to act like this, I'm scared about how she'll react if I do end up talking to her. And I know it's pathetic, but I'm pretty much paralyzed by fear. And she's just too beautiful. Well, even though she's trying to avoid Ichitaro, the truth is that she's still going to remember about what he did to her that night. So anyways, in the classroom, Aritagawa-san looks no different than she usually does. So, being quiet, basically isolate herself from other classmates in the corner, and the glare. So, just like the normal, she sits there impassively, her her chin propped up on her hand, talking to no one. And looking at her visage from here, it almost feels like the other day didn't actually happen. But the softness and the warmth of her slim shoulders still lingers on my hands. And a feeling I only know because she was so vulnerable then. And I suppose it's better if I think of that day as a one-off, 1 hour of closeness that isn't not going to happen again. And when I think about it like that, it feels like I've completely missed a really amazing chance.
要するに、相手が元気になったらもう話しかける度胸がないっていうこと?
Okay, so he's going to Yachiyo for some advice, and I wonder if she'll be helpful over this. So I've stopped by the shrine on my way home to have a chat with Yachiyo. Well, later, of course, greeting her father. So she... Let's see. Oh, she cuts to the root of my problem with a single sentence. Well, you didn't have to say like that. So, you didn't have to be blunt. But then again, she's not wrong though. So she is right on the dot. So Yachiyo winces and seems to think to an even smaller size than she usually is.
ごめんなさい。私もなんて言えばいいのかちょっと悩んじゃって。
So I don't think she'll be much help to Ichitaro's problem.
何せ、お守りを渡したその当日にそんなきっかけが訪れるなんて。
That's true. So you think this is because of the charm?
それは一太郎くんがどう思うか次第だけど。
Well, I guess. Well, in other words, it's up to me whether I believe in the charm and whether or not I approach it positively. So was it because of the charm that instant happened? And I guess part of me does want to believe in it. But whether I'm actually able to talk to Aritagawa-san is an entirely different matter.
でもその辺抜きにしても 助け起こしてあげられたのは偉いと思うよ。
That's true. Well, who wouldn't thought I was just doing what anyone would do? So when you see someone sick, helpless, unconscious, you'll want to do something to help her. So take her to the hospital, or in the case of Aritagawa-san, the family, where they will bring her to a doctor they trust.
だからだよ。
So that's how I see it, or you should see it. She smiles wryly at me for reasons I have no clue about. And all I know is that I instantly get self-conscious. Okay. Yachiyo ignores my confusion and plays with the hem of her skirt.
有田川さんだったよね。その子もきっと感謝してると思うな。
Well, I'm not sure about that.
そんなになんていうか、ゆいが独尊な子なの？
Well, it's more like she's just so composed, or like she doesn't really have much time for other people, or maybe she just knows how beautiful she is and tries to not let people get close to her.
それはなんだかすごい子だね。
So interesting thoughts.
でも、すごい美人？
So does she really feel grateful to me? And like I said before, I just did what anyone would do. So it's not like I really want her to thank me for it. I just want to know what she thought about the other day. Or if she really is trying to avoid me like it felt like she was doing this morning. Well, there's nothing else to do except man up and ask her. If he can find the chance. But in reality, all I'm doing now is going round and round in circles in order to distract myself from that particular fact. So like what Ichitaro says, it all depends on me. So next time I see her, well, maybe tomorrow, or I pass through the ticket gates of the station as I think. And it looks like he gets his second chance. So on the platform, Aritagawa-san or Neo is just staying there. So, well, I am stunned. So Aritagawa-san is standing right there. That's true. And she's not facing the tracks. She's looking right at the ticket gates. Right at me. So the previous train should have left the station already. So a few minutes ago. So did she deliberately not get on it? And if that's the case, then why? Okay, so he now talks to her. So, Aritagawa-san? I really don't know what's going on, but her eyes are boring into me. So she's giving that angry glare at Ichitaro. Not a welcoming sight. I flinch. So the stare of her beautiful girl is a powerful thing. And just as I'm about to apologize purely by instinct.
遅い。
You're late. I'm sorry. But then again, I'm sure this was not planned. So she should not be expecting Ichitaro to arrive at a certain time on the train platform. Yep, of course, I end up apologizing. But then again, it was not his fault. Hang on, wait. So does that mean she waited for me? Well, I'm sure that's obviously true.
ひょっとしてまたおばあちゃんでも助けてたの?
Okay. Oh no, so I just stopped by a friend's place. So she was asking, oh, so did you go and help more old ladies? Was that how she sees me? Some guy who just goes around helping the elderly people. Well, admittedly, I do seem like I have been doing that in front of her a lot lately.
でも誰かが困ってたらあんたは助けるんでしょ?
Well?
私この前のことは当然のことだと思ってたの。
So, do you forget? Huh?
意識が朦朧として起き上がれなくて、だけど誰も助けようとはしてくれなくて。
Okay, so adding the fact that when I was all slumped over, no one else wanted to help me. And if you remember, like, some people were making it worse by, let's take a picture of her in distress. So, a damsel in distress. And that's not what you would do.
私普段他人を遠ざけてるから、それも当然だなって。
It just makes the person feel more uncomfortable. And for Aritagawa or Neo, it's like, well, you know, I usually stay away from everyone, so it really bit me when I fainted and I couldn't get myself back home, so I had no one to help me. Until you came. Well, that's got nothing to do with it.
あんたはそうなんだよね。
So it's kind of interesting or special that you would come and help me.
だから。
And so Aritagawa-san finally breaks her gaze and bows deeply towards me with a humility that takes me aback.
この前は家まで送り届けてくれてありがとう。
But anyways, thanks for helping me.
おかげで助かったし、助けてもらったんならちゃんとお礼しないと、私のおばあちゃんに合わせる顔がないから。
Well, all I can say or do is stare blankly at her. So it seems she waited for me just to thank me. Okay, so we are now inside the train. So by the time that's sunk in, we both boarded the train together as if it is completely normal. And it looks like it's hard for either of them to speak up. And what's more, she stops dead in the middle of the carriage as if waiting for me to pick a seat. So are we going home together? And is it okay for me to think of it like this? So how about we sit over there?
どこでもいいけど。
Wait, so she's actually fine with it? So it's quite a contrast to episode 1. So in episode 1, she turned Ichitaro away and told him to go back to his train car, and now it's, well, anywhere is fine. So in that case, I decided to sit in a booth seat. And as if it were the most normal thing in the world, Aritagawa-san sits across from me. Oh, so the booth seat is where you have two rows facing each other, and I wonder if there is a table in between. Well, probably not. So I probably don't have to tell you how much faster that makes my heart beat. And then the train sets off. As we chug further and further from the city, the car steadily empties. And before we know it, it's just the two of us alone. Okay, so unfortunately, I have to put some boxes because this camera angle exposes too much skin for Aritagawa-san or Neo, and I feel that the uniform might be too small for her. So anyways, so the whole time, this girl across from me sits with her long, slender legs crossed. She stares out the window in her normal chin pop, so the chin propped on hand pose. Although she was forward in thanking me, let's see, she hasn't said a single word to me since. And it's tough to think of anything that might start a conversation right now, as much as I've dreamed of this kind of scenario. But then again, it takes time, and Ichitaro shouldn't rush things. So at first he needs to make it more comfortable for Aritagawa-san or Neo to speak up. And once she's on better terms with Ichitaro, then he can bring up more topics to talk about. So I can't even look at her, and every time I try to, my eyes are inexorably drawn to those beautiful legs. And I gaze out the window as if imitating her, trying with all the strength I can muster to suppress that fevered beating of my heart. And the rice fields outside stretch far into the distance. And any vestiges of the bustling city really do just completely vanish once you leave, let's see, Sawago. And the fields are flooded with water, and lush ears of rice hang down from the stems. It must not be time to harvest them yet. And among them, I catch glimpses of some creatures, small and reddish brown, rustling in the leaves. Maybe crickets. And it must be some kind of, let's see, waterfowl. Probably. Okay. But, so our Aritagawa-san must be able to see them too. And as the thought crosses my mind. So I wonder, are those ducks? And I speak without even thinking. Well, she probably won't even react to that. Okay, so she does speak up. Wait.
カモはもっとカラフルでしょ。あれはカイツブリ。
And she surprises me yet again. And just the fact that she replied is surprising. That's true. Oh wait, so do you know about birds? So that's kind of surprising. I assumed that you were not really the kind of person who liked animals.
別に好きなわけじゃない。
Well, knowing about birds has nothing to do with being interested in birds. That's probably part of like, well, I had to study this for biology, and that's it. Really? And most people wouldn't know the difference between ducks or gerbils, though. And I wouldn't even have known if was the name of the bird on the first hearing it. So still looking at me with an impassive expression, Aritagawa-san interrupts my train of thought with another few short words. So what now?
私の名前だから。
Oh, okay, so it's part of her name. Huh?
私のフルネーム、有田川ニオなんだけど。
Okay, so my name is Aritagawa Neo. I know that. So you're my classmate.
ニオってカイツブリの古名みたい。私の名前はそれが由来なんだって。
Okay, so my first name Neo stands for, let's see, a grave. And with that, she returns to staring into the distance.
名付け親のおばあちゃんが教えてくれたの。だから知ってただけ。
So I got this name from my grandmother. Interesting. Well, I am a little impressed and oddly happy. And I thought Neo was an odd name, but I don't expect that to be where it came from. And I really didn't expect her to be the one to tell me either. Okay, I see. So you and the Neo-sans out there are both redheads after all, right? Wait a minute. So I think it's like, maybe the reason you got that name is because you have reddish color hair and it matches the color of the birds out there. Wait, oh look. So that's Neo's flying. And that Neo's been chomping away at something for quite some time now. Greedy.
ニオにも言わないでよ。
Hey, don't bring my name and don't, like, defame it. Or don't trash my name like that. And it makes her upset as expected. So she abruptly stands up. I'm sorry. I was just joking. Don't. Well, that wasn't funny.
違う。
And it looks like I didn't make her mad at least. So, what's wrong? So, why is it bothering you?
お花摘んでくる。
Well, so I think she's kind of mad and she's trying to hide it. So, I'm just gonna go to the restroom. Well, I didn't know that you were wearing makeup. And why is she suddenly worried about that anyways? So it's rude to do your makeup on the train. Oh, wait. So you're going to get off at the next station or something? Oh, I get it. So is this another bird thing? Does the Neo have a really moist nose?
トイレ
And I didn't like how Ichitaro had to push it really far. And at least it should have been obvious what she wanted to do. So she yells at me and strides off into the next car, her face beat red. Okay, now I've done it. So I've gone and annoyed her again. And I don't think I can really be blamed that much for that one though. I never heard anyone refer going to the bathroom like that before. And now that I blew it, she might not be coming back. At least that's what I thought. So after a little while, Aritagawa-san walks back into the car, the same sour expression etched on her face. She came back, but that doesn't change the fact that it's still not exactly easy to keep a conversation going between us. And at the end of an extremely awkward journey, we finally reach my stop. Okay, so here's where I get off. And I spring up from my seat as I'm trying to run away. But just as I'm about to leave the car, I feel a ping in my chest and I glance around. So I think she held on to him right before he got out of his seat. And I wonder what she wants. So our eyes meet. So see you tomorrow. I try to leave, but her piercing gaze has me hooked like a fish on the line. I find my mouth still moving. Well, we'll probably be on the train together from now on, so I'll see you then, Aritagawa-san. And her reply is swift and short.
Aritagawa.
Aritagawa. Huh?
さん付けいらないから。
So from now on, please don't add san to my name. So you don't have to be that formal and you can just call me Aritagawa. And that's all she says. And I don't really get the means, if that means she's okay with us going to school and going home together or not. But at least she replied to me. She even let me call her by just her last name. So no more san, no more honorifics or such. And somehow it feels like we've grown a little closer. That's true. And I'm not imagining that, am I? Okay, so I think he's calling Yachiyo about the updates. So later that night, I call Yachiyo out of the blue. There you go. And I just want to hear a third party's opinion. And as a girl, I thought she might understand Aritagawa. Okay, no san, so Aritagawa a little better. Really? That's great. So thanks, Yachiyo. Well, don't say that. So it's been just what I needed to hear. But anyways, thanks again. So bye-bye. And I triumphantly end the call. Right. So if that's the case, then... Okay, so I feel that Ichitaro really needs to slow things down a bit. So even though he's made progress getting closer to Aritagawa Neo, the fact that instead of shooing him away, telling him to go to the next train car, she's willing to sit across from him. But we can see that she is still kind of uncomfortable being with him. And when he made the joke about, oh, I see Neil's flying, that was quite offensive because he was making fun of her name. So, anyways, so I want to make the most of this opportunity and gradually get closer to her. But then again, I feel that he is still kind of rushing it. So what's wrong? I board the same car as usual at the usual time with thoughts of Aritagawa in my head. So she should be aboard or on here like usual, but I can't see her at all. Wait a minute. So did she get on a different train today? Or maybe she caught another cold, or maybe she overslept. And I'm curious, but I don't have a way to know for sure. And I don't have her phone number or any other ways to contact her. Well, I should have gotten her to call me yesterday. I could have said I'd rather have that than her thanking me or something. Wait. So on second thought, that probably would not have worked. So it would have been creepy. So just me suddenly asking for her contact info. Well, I suppose that first I should start getting close enough to her that she does not mind me asking her for that. Well, if she does come to school, I'll see her in the classroom and I'll get plenty of chances to talk to her, I'm sure. Well, it might be more difficult in class because there are other students looking at her, versus here where it's more personal, more private, no one, or the people who board the train, they're not interested, they're old people and, well, you know. So I take my seat and space out, lulled by the swaying of the train. So about an hour later, as the train approaches Sawagoe, I know something. So I figure in the next car. Okay, so she was on the train all along and sitting in a different car. Wait, no wait. So she was just in a different car than normal the whole time? Well, in that case, I'm guessing it's too late because it looks like the train's about to arrive at their destination. So I stand up and try to make my way through the stained passengers to the next car. Sorry, so let me through. Please. Oh, sorry, I'm coming through. And when the train is this close to the city, it fills up pretty quickly and it's almost at our station. So I think he should wait till next time. But then again, if he is desperate, next time is not an option. So the people waiting to get off from an impenetrable wall, blocking me off from the next car. Damn. Well, this chance is getting away from me. But at least she sees him. And then our eyes meet. Oh no, so he found me. And she quickly looks away. And then the train reaches the station before I can make my way to her, and we get off separately. So we are, of course, heading in the same direction though, so we're in the same class. And he goes after her. So, Aritagawa. I chase after her, calling out.
Nani?
What? I was just thinking that you weren't in the same car as usual, so what happened?
別に決めてるわけじゃないし。
Well, I don't have a preference for which car I want, so... okay, that's fine.
何の用なの?
So, do you need anything? Her bluntness, let's see, tings. She stares at me coldly, sweeping her hair back with one hand. And I can't help but find that a little habit of hers, let's see, intimidatingly beautiful and a little sexy. Let's see, so intimidatingly beautiful.
まだお礼言わせ足りないの?
So you want more than just me apologizing about that incident? No. So this is not about that. And I desperately try to explain myself. So, like I said yesterday, so since we're going to be taking the same route to school, I wanted to take a chance to talk to you more.
そう
Okay. And it looks like she's not interested.
じゃあ話せば
Okay, so what do you want? And it kind of gives, or I think she's giving him the sense that, well, I have very little time, so hurry up. If you want to say anything, do it now. Before... Wait, so is it okay?
話したいんでしょ
Well, you wanted to talk, right? Yeah, and?
え
Wait, so hold on a second. So I don't really think that much beyond this. Wait, so...
何それ
Well, I didn't think we would finish talking about which train car we were in so quickly. I didn't have a plan for after that. Oh, I'm sorry. So basically, he's unprepared. Oh no. So did I make her mad again? I shouldn't have forced it. I just can't tell what she's thinking. Her expression never changes, and she never says more than what's absolutely necessary. Well... I'm sorry, I guess so. I kind of, wasted your time.
それは別にいいんだけど
I don't mind, really.
そもそもあんたどうして急に同じ電車になったの
Okay, so it looks like she does want to continue the conversation after all. So now she's wondering, so why are you taking the same train as me? Or what happened? And knowing that makes me a little bit happier. Oh well, so up until recently, I've been living by myself in an apartment pretty close to school. But then a pipe burst and flooded the place, so I'm staying with relatives until it's fixed. So she is definitely listening to me, even if she's not reacting at all. Aritagawa, yes, so that Aritagawa is listening to me. I'm getting more and more elated. So I actually really like sweet things.
So
Okay. Oh, so there's that store called Filet et Lart. So the cakes there are delicious, so you should give them a try. And I've been talking about myself quite a bit, and figured that I should tell her as much about myself as I possibly can. And then Aritagawa-san simply listens or takes in my words. And so, wait, huh? And it looks like she's spacing out. So as we get closer to school, the distance between us begins to grow, and I take that to mean we need to stop talking. But I guess this means that she's fine with me talking to her while we're going to and from school. It seems so. Okay, so I'll go ahead and stop here for this episode. So, even on the other side, Ichitaro is still worried about getting closer to Aritagawa Neo, and she still gives him that unapproachable attitude with the cold glares and stares. But ever since the incident, it seems that she is slowly getting closer to Ichitaro. So she thanks him, and she tells him to stop calling her Aritagawa-san, so let's be more casual. And she's willing to listen to whatever he has to say. So I feel that Ichitaro's having trouble coming up with a topic is because he's nervous, and I'm sure that joke about I see Neo's flying, that really brought him down. But hopefully things will get better as we go along. So before I close this episode, I want to take a look at the other option back in episode 1 where he was working with Hiwa Kojika at the cafe and or actually the bakery, and I wanted to see what the short version was. So I clicked the long version in episode 1. So hold on for a minute. Okay, so I'm back at the bakery, and this was in episode 1 where we got 2 options whether or not to listen to Ichitaro's story in detail or just the gist of things. So let's see what happens if I click the second option, so remember the gist of things. Okay, so an old pipe burst in my apartment and flooded the whole place. And as a result, I'm now staying with some relatives. And it'll take a month for my apartment to be remodeled, during which I'll have an hour-long train ride to school and back every day. And that means that I'm not able to take on as many shifts at my part-time job with Kojika Hiwa.
大変なのは先輩なんですから、小鹿になんか謝らなくていいんですよ。
And even though she's the one I'm foisting my work onto, Kojika still sweetly forgives me.
それより困ったことがあったら言ってくださいね。
Well, Kojika? So she really is such a nice girl, and she's so cute, and plus she's got a nice body as well. Okay, so this is where the other option would have taken us. So I'll go ahead and stop here, and in the next episode, we'll see how it goes in class and how much more progress Ichitaro will make at getting closer to Aritagawa Neo and make it more comfortable and less hostile. So with that in mind, I'll see you in the next episode.